Nothing says November like some Big Ten wrestling, and you can find it right here on the BTN Wrestling Report. Welcome into our Chicago studios. I'm Lentz. No better way to start off the dual wrestling season than with an elite matchup of the nation's premier teams. Minnesota had a huge undertaking when they visited Rec Hall in front of 6,200 fans. It all started out in Rec Hall, NCAA defending champions Penn State hosting Minnesota. The Gophers jumped out to an 11-point lead until top-ranked David Taylor recorded a tech fall over Cody Yan at 165. The Lions were still trailing 8-14 overall. At 174, second-ranked Ed Ruth pinned Eric Ortiz at the 2:28-minute mark, adding 6 points to the team score and tying the meet at 14 apiece. That brought up number 1 Quentin Wright of Penn State against 6th-ranked Kevin Steinhaus at 184. Scoreless after the first period, and then Steinhaus got a takedown to lead 2-1 after the second. He finished the match with another takedown and escape and 1 minute of riding time to upset Wright with a final of 6-1. That helping Minnesota beat Penn State, also winning 7 of the 10 total bouts, a final score of 23-14. BTN wrestling analyst Ken Chertow joins us on the phone now. And Ken, first of all, thanks for joining us. Second of all, your overall impressions with the teams in the Big Ten Conference.
Well, it's going to be a three-way race. I mean, the 3 top teams in the country, I believe, are right here in the Big Ten with Penn State, Minnesota, and Iowa. And dual meets are going to be really exciting. Penn State has a tournament-strong team. They have numerous 4 or 5 really strong individuals, and Iowa and Minnesota are just loaded up and down for dual meets. They're strong, and I would consider one of them the favorites to win the Big Ten championship in the tournament format as well.
And you talked about some individuals. Who else in the Big Ten, individually speaking, do you like, is exciting, and who should we really watch for?
Well, B.J. Fattrell's off the top of my head because he's just wrestled in the All-Star meet. He was the only representative for the Big Ten, and he nearly knocked off Oklahoma State's Jordan Oliver, the strong favorite. And he's exciting. B.J. Fattrell goes after people. He's a leg attack machine. He's good on top with cradles. Iowa, Penn State, Minnesota have numerous individuals. The most exciting one of the bunch, I would say, is David Taylor, and he is just dynamite on top. He's long and lanky and just really aggressive on top, and he can do tilts and turns from all different positions. So he's very, very fun to watch. I'd like to see more wrestlers trying harder on top to turn people. There's a lot of emphasis on controlling riding, tiring people out, especially in the Big Ten. But David's kind of changing that page, and I look for a lot of others to follow and be more creative on top. Looking at Michigan, Kellen Russell's the defending NCAA champion. I don't know that he's that exciting, but he's fun to watch because he's always in good position, and when they do go at him, he scrambles really well. He's almost impossible to finish on. And those are some of the guys I like to watch, some of my favorites.
Speaking of favorites, Ken, it's never too early to predict a Big Ten champion, and also we were talking off camera about how that's going to favor once you go into the NCAA tournament. But give us your pick for the conference champion and how that's going to fare out nationally.
Wow, put me on an old spot here 3 months ahead of time. And, I got to take the alma mater of me. I'm supposed to just say Penn State, but all unbiased opinion aside here, I'm going to go with Iowa for the conference championship over Minnesota. Maybe Penn State falling back as far as 3rd. And at the Nationals, I'm going to take Penn State to win it all with Iowa and Minnesota right behind them. It's good, but I really think the top 3 teams in the country are here in the Big Ten. People could make an argument for Cornell, Oklahoma State, and some others, but when it's all said and done, the dust clears, the quality of competition in the Big Ten will let the cream rise to the top, and those 3 teams are going to be battling it out at the end.
All right, Ken, always a pleasure. Thank you so much, and we'll hold you to your predictions. We'll see how that fares out.
All right. Thank you.
Ken gave us an outlook of what the national landscape looks like. Here is how it ranks. Iowa is at number 1 for the first time since 2010 with 7 returning starters on their squad. And Penn State drops to number 4 after its loss to Minnesota, while the Golden Gophers move up a spot to number 3. The Wolverines have 8 returning starters, including NCAA champion Kellen Russell, and sit at 7th. Plenty of Big Ten wrestling action on BTN.com for the month of December, starting on December 2nd with 9th-ranked Illinois visiting Iowa. And Nebraska makes its debut against Wyoming on Saturday, December 10th, and make sure you tune into BTN on Friday, December 30th for full coverage of Midlands hosted by Northwestern. That's going to do it this week for the Big Ten Wrestling Report. Make sure to keep on clicking BTN.com for all of your news, updates, and highlights from around the conference.